Welcome to your daytime favorites. I'm your host Kumkani. Today we have a special guest by the name Jack Lekola. He's an author, an artist, and also a motivational speaker. And he's doing various things in his line of community in terms of uplifting young bloods coming out in terms of trying to motivate them that you could still make it. You know what I'm saying? How are you, sir?
I'm good in myself.
I'm good. I'm chill.
Thanks for having me, man.
Chill. Yeah. So let's talk, man. Who is Jack?
Jack is just a regular Joe from the hood.
Yeah.
Inspired by the greats likes of More Fire.
Go fire, yeah.
Smooth.
Things.
Growing up in the township where every day you see criminals doing better than graduates and everything, working class. So I just decided to be different from everyone, just follow my passion no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jack. Simple regular Joe from the hood. Trying to be the Robin Hood.
Do the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also heard you saying that, coming up and when you're growing up there's some young kids which normally they just go by doing some drugs or
Sure.
like doing criminal activities and all that.
Yeah.
I'm about to dive into that.
Sure.
I'm about to dive into that. But for now, I just need you to tell us like your background, your story, like who is Jack? Where does he come from? How did Jack become the man who he is today? Yeah.
Well, I was born in Pretoria, West.
Alright.
And,
Suburbs.
Yes, suburbs. But you know how life is. Life happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Moved to Limpopo when I was 3, 4.
Mhm.
And then lived there for a while and then came back. When I came back, my parents were separating, so I had to go to mom's with my mom.
Yeah.
And that's where I became a Mamelodian back in 98.
28.
So, yeah, in the hood and everything. So, I come from very, very disciplined family background. But then I had to learn to divert from being disciplined so that I can be free. As an artist, you have to spread your wings.
Obviously.
So, coming from a very disciplined family, our household, whenever I was home, there were certain things that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
Like, my mom was one person who doesn't even understand rap. So back then I was into hip hop, especially Eminem, the likes.
Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't go to hip hop soul shows and everything because they were happening late.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to be home at 6. You remember back in the day when
It's like
you
when
see
it's
a red
6
light going
o'clock,
on,
it's supposed to be
you know
6
that,
o'clock.
wow, I'm late. I'm supposed to be home.
Otherwise, yeah.
So besides that, I'm also a sports fanatic. I love sports, soccer especially. So yeah, I think I was groomed based on sports, art, school, and being inspired by my cousins who made it when things were tough back at home.
yeah.
So that, and then where I come from, plus I'm a crop man as a guy, see, always motivating us or set up, let's get it. So that, and then seeing how the world evolved politically and everything, and what I wanted to achieve as a person. So I think that what made me who I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to answer a question in short. Because if you look at things, you can tell yourself that maybe in 10 years I want to be at this point. But then you
In
know,
life, yeah. So you
journey,
still gotta
yeah,
go through trials and
there's a-
tribulations
yeah,
at the same time.
setbacks. And so how you think and how you see things actually says a lot about you.
Yeah.
I'm one person who sees setbacks as stepping stones. No matter what I come across, for me it's not negativity. For me it's a challenge that
So
I need
always,
to
yeah.
improve
positive,
myself.
yeah.
Be positive about everything. That's how I think.
I had so tell me about this situation.
Yeah.
You said back then your mom and dad separated.
Yeah.
Then as we know it happens in a lot of black families,
A lot.
right? But how do we deal with it? Because right now, normally we were being taught back then that you know what, not to use this word
Yeah.
per se, but white people
Sure.
hardly ever, separate. And then if they do separate, they go to counseling, they take the kids to counseling. But the black way is like, no, you're a kid, don't need counseling. If we separated, we're separated. You don't need to know the reasons why we separated as your parents. At the end of the day, you still have a legal guardian who's going to be taking care of
Sure.
you. Either it's your father, either it's your mother.
Yeah.
So how did that shape you also?
Well, when it happened, I think it played a huge role in who I am today, based on being a father as well,
Yeah.
being a brother, being a son, and being a friend. But to be honest, it wasn't easy.
Mhm.
It was a bit heartbreaking. But then from that moment, I had to grow up. I had to be a big brother to my younger brother. I had to be father to myself.
Yeah,
I had to be
definitely.
the man of the house because I'm an older son. I also have a sister.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing: it's never easy. And being black, there's no such thing as depression, anxiety, and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
Whatever.
not
So
there, but
yeah, so I think that and my mom being a strong woman pushed me to be strong as well
mm.
and just forget about everything. Like this is not none of my business. Mind your business. You're a kid. Be a kid.
Yeah, that's why.
Leave
Yeah,
the
that's why
elders'
I'm
business.
saying
That's
is like
how we were
yeah,
taught either way as blacks.
as
We are
blacks,
not like
yeah,
white people where they go through therapy, family therapy, and all
and
that,
all.
counseling and all that. Black people, we don't do that.
Remember when you're growing up with both parents,
Yeah.
right? You still have that thing of having both your parents together, and then you develop love for both your parents.
Definitely.
So you used as a kid, you used to both your parents being around without having this one fighting with this one. Then you have to be back and forth. This one is fighting to have you for custody. This one also wants to have you. And then now when they both separated, it's that thing of this one wants to see you.
Yeah.
This one wants to stay with you. Then because they at loggerheads, this one says no, stay away. So what I'm trying to ask is, in terms of the case after the separation, right? Um, did your father ever make the effort of like, you know what, I still wanna spend time with my son. I still wanna see my son grow, and I wanna be there in his life, rather than you know what, okay, me and the mother, we're not getting along. So rather, I also stay away in terms of saying, you know, at the end of the day, he's my son also. So let me fight for the fact that he's my son. I still want to be in his life. Because I just heard you mention saying that your mother is a strong woman. It's like all black women, obviously. I think right now in today's era, I see a lot of women, black women. It's more like I can do better without. You get what I'm saying? Even when there's a child involved, I can do better without. But not knowing the strain that it's affecting on the child, whereas the child grows up, would they rather be with both parents? Would they rather know both sides of the story and like, even if without knowing both sides of the story, but spend time, some quality time with both parents? You get what I'm saying? So what happened after that? Did he make an effort, or he was just like, no, effort?
He has always been there, keeping in touch and all. Obviously, he was never the same because we were used to having him in the house and all that. But once they separated, he was there, calling, support, financial and all that. But it was never the same, that father figure, the presence, which
The presence, yeah, because it matters the most.
Yeah, it does. But then even now, he's still there. We talk. I go and see him once a month, or maybe after 2 months. We chill and talk about everything. He actually now plays a huge role in the man that I'm trying to become, maybe in the next coming 5-10 years. So he also feels like he missed a lot of time to groom me as a man, because the most time where a son, especially a son or a daughter, where he needs his father is when he's turning into a teenager. I say that's where you need a father figure. So he was not there. So I had to see or learn from my friends how they behave around their father and all that. I have a friend of mine who I always tell him that let's go away. So when you say this about your dad, I can tell that you like because I know him. He actually played a role as my father as well because I spent more time at your place. That's what I had to adapt to. Seeing someone else's father as my father as well.
At the same time.
We grew up in a community where they tell you that it takes a village to raise a kid. So I had to take that perspective of, what, as much as my dad is not here full time, I can actually take someone's dad and take him as my dad. Depend on how I saw them,
At the same time,
as much as someone else's mom can be your mom as well or your guardian. So I had to compromise and say, what, change your thinking, change your life.
You also a father, as you mentioned. Then how does that affect you, or how does that give you much more positivity in terms of, you know what? Because I grew up in such a situation where both my parents had to separate. Now I'm in a situation where I am a father. You still involved with the mother?
No.
You're not involved with the mother. So yeah, so you see, it's like something which is like a generational
More like a generational
curse. Yeah, it's more like a generational curse because now you still have you also following in the same steps, but given the time back then, right, as you said, because it was 98 when you moved from Limpopo to this side. So now that you have a daughter, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? So now that you have a daughter, how do you take the learnings or the teachings that you got from your parents' separation? Like
how I do things?
Yeah, like how do you deal with it?
Well, that's the first thing that I took from my dad was that whether you're still involved with the mother or not, always be present, be the best father that you can be to your daughter or your son.
Yeah.
So I try by all means that I'm there, not to say financially per se. My presence has to be felt. You know, go see her, take her to parks and everything, chill with her. Even today, she was supposed to be with me. So since while I'm here, she's with my mom. So probably I'll see her next because during the day, you know,
you gotta hustle.
She needs to eat. So I see her probably on weekends. That's where I see her. But forever with her. She's my daughter. She's my lifesaver. She's my princess.
Yeah.
She's my everything. My heart in human form.
Yeah. There's something that just came to mind, right? You wrote a book called I'm in love with my daughters. I'm in love with my daughter.
But there's a bit of a confusion. Everyone keep asking me this question, but the book is not even about me and my daughter.
Yeah.
It's about,
besides that,
it's about a guy who comes from a rich family.
Yeah.
His mom died while giving birth to him, so he was raised by a single dad.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy, growing up from a rich family, is one of those that I want to be seen as a cheese boy. So he is away from his family business and everything, goes to the township and everything, ends up falling in love with the township princess.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the chick got pregnant. The father found out, gave the chick money to disappear and get rid of the baby. Luckily, the chick didn't get rid of the baby.
Still raised the baby, yeah.
Raised the kid. So the guy, after growing up, he started suffering from that thing, not being able to date, not enjoying your youth and everything, because he was pushed to study hard and to be able to take over the business later on.
Oh yeah.
So now he's a blesser. The daughter, of which he doesn't even know exists, suffers from what? Lack of father figure.
Okay.
So she's a what?
Slave queen. Yeah, slave queen.
So he ends up falling in love with the daughter, not knowing that he's actually in love with his own daughter.
His biological daughter.
He come across with who?
The mother.
The high school student. And then that's where the truth come out, and the guy ends up killing himself because he was actually in love with his own daughter.
Man, that's a masterpiece. That's a masterpiece. So, but besides that, so you saying that in terms of the experience of writing that such a masterpiece, it was never derivative of actually saying that, you know what you went through and growing up as a child, having to see your parents separate and having your own daughter also, but also not being in good terms with the mother, like you had to separate on a relationship level. Not say per se that, you know what, we might kill each other if we see each other. So normally I thought, you know, when I looked at it, I was like, it's such a masterpiece, but also gives that feel of like, you know what, most of the time we as people are ignorant to the fact that, okay, we got money, we can do the hell whatever we please.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because, as you said, because he's from a rich family, the father is more like a Mogul empire. He has his own empire that he built from the ground. So he's actually like forcing his son to follow in his footsteps, where else the son wanted probably a different life rather than having the same footsteps or following in the same footsteps as the father. That the father did, right? So now, in terms of protecting the name, family name, because now it comes to a thing where of we high, you went get the low type of lady that like So the standards, it's more like now we checking standards. So hence probably the father decided, you know what, here's the money, go live your life, just terminate the baby, then because now we got money, then you from a low class. Yeah, you from a low class, you literally can compare with us
can't.
when it comes to you get what I'm saying?
Definitely, yeah.
You can't compare with us. So I thought probably it came from that experience when you were growing up as a child, but now here when I hear it
Yeah.
clearly from you, like it's
Just
something
answer
that you
the book was inspired based on what we see growing up.
yeah,
The experience of dating, different chicks and all that. Then you realize that we actually lack something.
yeah.
Doesn't matter if you come from a household where like both parents were there was something lacking. If you were raised by a single father, obviously like
The mother figure, yeah. Then
if you
other
come
way
from a
around.
household where there was no father, obviously
Yeah.
you can tell even in a township you can tell by how people behave. Akai all the time, like, you can tell or akai or not only.
Yeah.
So things like that, and you
Yeah.
can tell okay. Basically, they're both parents and everything, civilized and everything, respect and all that.
But I still feel like you could still show that, you from both, besides being both parents in the same house, even if you're having a single parent, I feel like you could still show that, you know what, it's more like we are raised by both parents. I, for example, I went through this thing when I was at school. I think this came about in grade 11. There was this teacher of mine, she was teaching life science. Right? Is it LO? Life orientation,
Life orientation,
sorry. Life orientation. So when she was teaching life orientation, it was more of the way I was behaving. You get what I'm saying? The way I was answering and all that. She ended up saying that, asking me, do you have both parents? I'm like, no, I'm staying with my mom's. My father is around, but we hardly talk.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because it's that thing of me when I was asking you about your father, that was he making the effort to actually, to see you and all that. My father was there, and for me, the most hurtful thing was that you are here, and then the only communication we had was for me when I was looking for money. As a child, as a child, obviously, I'm gonna look for money. I need to also have some things where other kids have and all that. Did not give the responsibility to my mother only. You get what I'm saying? So it was that thing. I was like, no, Tops is timer is there. Hey, timer, sit down, boy. Sit down, hey, must Niki Mali. That's it. It's hard ways. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, mothers. Moms was like, no, Tata, call, talk to him, call him, just check on him, find out how is he doing, is he fine? I'm like, at the end of the day, umjito yaziba unomntana. You're the older, you're the older one. So kutheni mna fanele ndifowune ndithi timer, uvukile timer, uyatsha timer, unina nti andisebenzi. He's supposed to do that the other way around. But as mothers, she kept on insisting, no, timer akho fanele umkhangele nawe. Shouldn't be about money. I'm like, for me, it's not about money because I'd ask for money like after probably 3 or 6 months. Even after 9 months.
If you don't ask for money, there's no communication.
The communication.
You are more like a business transaction.
Yeah, it's that. But the way I was behaving, the way I was conducting myself, the respect that I have for older people, even for him, but the respect that I had, you get what I'm saying? The teacher would think that he's from a good household where they both parents inside there. I'm like, no. It's only my mother and that woman was beating the hell out of me.
I was about to say that discipline comes first.
So at the end of the day, for me, it was not even about having a father in my life anymore. I see when I was growing up in Jonga Kumbule Kaya, where people would be looking for their fathers, people would be looking for their mothers and all that. So now I was like, I'm not gonna do this.
You had to grow up.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna go look up for my father.
He's like right to now, come and look for me.
You get what I'm saying? Do you know Mtana also? I have a baby daughter. I know where my daughter is.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's to make time to go see my daughter, spend time with my daughter. The way is you say it now, you make effort with it. Your daughter knows that the presence is there because obviously we're supporting Abantwana financially. We give to the baby mama.
The presence also plays a
role. But the presence also with Tata, and then I know to Tata Utanda this, Tata went at this. If Tata is like this, he's pissed off. If that is like this, hey, he's happy, something is happening, I might get some sweets, I might get, that type of nice life problem. Yeah, so a lot of people, it's just that they want to show outside the household that, I'm being raised by a single mother. Where else, even when the mother tries by all their means to give the discipline, someone will be like, nah.
I think that maybe can,
Yeah.
to cut you, I think that can also be based on, like, there are certain people who can say, since all my dad left,
Yeah.
I can bring my mom for them. And then they'll go outside and do certain things just to disappoint them, not knowing that they're messing their lives up.
Exactly.
It's not based on coming from a single parent household. It's based on how you think, how you see yourself, and how you live in the situation.
Also, yeah.
So as people are not the same. We can look at the same thing, but then we'll give different perspective.
Yeah.
It's all based on the logic of understanding the whole situation and everything, and how you want people to understand. Because whether we like it or not, I respect people who say, you know what, I suffer from Batwatore. Rather than people who say, I don't care what people think about me. Because people are always thinking about you, whether you like it or not. So basically, you have to care. If you didn't care, why don't you walk naked outside?
No one would.
Basically, you care, but you're lying to yourself. And then you want people to believe that way, you don't care about what people think.
But you actually do.
You're just not aware, but you do, So sometimes it's based on who you blame and then who you want people to blame
perceive
or to say, "Can wonder how old they are." And then when she'll come and say, "Kumkani Wednesday." And then you're like, oh, she got the message. That what makes you happy. But then you need to go back and question yourself, am I really want to become this particular person? Or all that. And then Uzbu was there again, you would see, why did my dad leave or why did my mom leave? Because whether you like it or not, you're cooler now. And then at one point, you're going to have your own family. And then I'll tell you one thing, as long as you guys live together, you can't be happy 24/7 the whole year. At some point, we'll have a difference of opinion and everything. We're not the same people, we like different things. You can come to my household and live with me, only to find out that in my household, we don't leave dishes. We wash them before we sleep. And where you come from, they leave them, they do it in the morning. That's going to cause conflict in the long run. Because we're different people, we do things differently. But then, you need to get to that phase, you know what, I'm done judging people based on what they do or how they do things. I just need to understand that things happen for a reason. And that's pretty much just feelings are cloud. Either way, even life ends at some point. So you just have to be grateful that I woke up today, I'm alive. I still have people that love me and care about me. That's it. Besides judging or trying to manipulate the whole situation, because you can't do anything about it.
At the same time.
It happened. And then you're just going to go through that.
No, I feel you. But then not stemming for the fact, he did release a masterpiece. Titled Love with My Daughter. Any other projects? Any other?
Currently, I'm working on a motivational book. It's called The Epiphany of Trial and Error. Where writing based on taking action. Actually, the first chapter is all about art, where I break down the weight. Because for me, art is just action repeated. So action repeated twice means what you do consistently will end up giving good results. That's art for me. That's how I see art. Because whatever that you do, doesn't matter if you wake up and go to work. That's art because you're creating something. You get. So it's based on giving people another way of perspective or logic of understanding the trial and error of going forward. Because in Bilo, we live every day until God says, you know what, your time is up.
Your time is up.
Yeah, you're expected to be on the shelf. So, So every day when we wake up, we try and learn from our errors and mistakes and we grow from there. That's how the book comes about, and trying to motivate people based on their actions and everything, habits, everything, perspective, understanding. I'm trying to break down words in a different perspective on how people see things and how I see them.
At the same time.
Give you a different perspective of everything.
Actually, that gives me a lot of knowledge, if I may say, because a few days ago I did a video talking about this thing, motivational speaking. And I did state a video, not saying Guti I'm attacking or saying something about motivational speakers or bad things. I was just saying, Guti, okay, at some point, I feel like Abantu Basekaya, as you said, you wake up. It's a trial and error. You wake up. You try by all means to either be successful, to exceed in whatever you're doing, to be happy. Because yesterday you went to bed with a sad face. You went to bed being sad, crying, or like there's a lot of emotions as a guy.
Sure.
Yeah, but then when you wake up, you try by all means. You know what? I'm gonna do better than I did yesterday. Yeah, but so it was that thing with him Nabinditi. No, you know what? Some of other people, I understand, Guti, you waiting for someone to come and tell you, Vuka Ndota, Vuka, go do this shit. Yes, you will fail, but Vuka, go do this shit. Because at the end of the day, it's something that you need to hear from someone else. And then I was emphasizing the fact that, Guti, check Nina as motivational speakers, right? It's because from your life experience that, you know what, as a check and then woke up, okay, I feel like typing today, and then let me continue this masterpiece. Then you're like, and you wanted that man, you got on a call, or you do it some other day. But because now you were self-driven, you were like, you know, man. Because as you now as a motivational speaker, yes, you might have heard from other people probably you follow in terms of being motivational speakers on anything, but also it depends on Jack, do you want to wake up and do something good about your life? Or Jack, do you want to be like, I'm going to listen to someone for a few seconds? Because one thing I noticed, do you know Kutuena as a motivational speaker, when you inspire someone, when you spark words of encouragement and positivity to someone else, you don't talk about, yeah, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Sasa, it's a different story. That thing. Follows you and be like, Zayens, like, Kuna Land, we always say, we want to be better than yesterday, but when we're supposed to be better than yesterday or try, that no. So hence I'm saying it's good putting as motivational speakers, you're doing it, and the fact that you're doing it via authorism, or you writing a book, then someone needs to like buy the copy, because read the book. Yeah, this is it's one thing that as black people we normally don't get to learn. Buy the book. It's not only about supporting black business or anything at the same time. Buy the book, read it. Then, if you read it, you get words of encouragement. If you actually like tomorrow, wake up again, read the same book. It's not like Kuti, it's going to be something where else now you won't be able to do whatever that you want to do also. It's words of encouragement. And it's like, if Bible every day, guys, your Bible every single. I hope every household has a Bible.
Definitely.
Every household will tell you God got it.
Yeah.
If God got it, why don't you also got it? You also got it.
Yeah.
So why don't you wake up and be like, you know what, no, I got it. Because it stands for the fact that you also trying to put words of encouragement. Yeah, but it's more like God is prophesying through Uwe that, you know what, give my children motivation. Because some of them will be depressed to the point where, like, you know, the feeling of depression, it's not something where you would say, no, I'm depressed, let me talk to someone else, then it goes away. It doesn't go away. It's a feeling. Yeah. So if you have words of encouragement and you're reading a book every day, for instance, I see Avandaba Ninja, they're posting about the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Yeah. If you can read about not giving a fuck, why don't you read about something that's gonna better your future, better your day, and then gives you that drive that, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever I wanna do. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. But big ups on that motivational book, The Trial and Epiphany. Is that
the Epiphany of Trial and Error?
The Epiphany of Trial and Error. So once the book is out, make sure to get yourself a copy, because at the end of the day, we all need words of encouragement. Where else nothing else book, you know what, we're feeling down and everything. Open the book, read it. You black. We always cry about why. Yeah, but it's fundamental, because we always cry about, you know what, white people always making it and all that. They do read books. You get what I'm saying? But I saw Zubabone because when you only see the outshell of them spending their enjoying hard food, earned food or hard-earned money. You see that, and then you're still trying to blame something. Here's a book. Read it, as you said. Motivational. Yeah, but
we all need that.
Yeah, we all need that. And then you're gonna be somewhere in life rather than, hi, yes, you know, But anyway, get the book once it's released. And as we were saying, you can continue more about it. So is it just the book only, or what else are you doing on the side which helps motivate you?
On the book. I haven't done any initiative yet. But then I also have this other initiative. I think you have heard about it, the Broadway Market, where I also give upcoming artists locally, so a platform to promote their craft and all that. And it also give me an exposure where I can actually promote my books and everything, because it's not even just about me, it's about everyone. Once we do something and then you think about yourself, it's not gonna. But once you do something and you think about others, just know that you're doing it for a good cause, so it's gonna be good for you as well. So
any betterment in community at the same time.
It comes first, because whatever that you wanna create or build, you must also think about the community and think about what you wanna bring or improving the community as well, or what you wanna change. But then what I've seen is that people forget that it's not just about studying or reading something. It's about improving your mindset and just moving away from different things that will escalate from being you trying to live your life to something that's trying to build something positive for yourself, or just to the betterment of being you.
Yeah, rather than going to something that's going to take your life.
At this age and time, I think we all go wishing. So we also need to step back a bit and reflect on life, see the view differently, and then give ourselves time. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just get a book, read. Doesn't matter if it's a motivational book, a novel, or a magazine, or just read something. You need that.
That's the good thing about you, Yabon.
Yeah.
You have a book where you storytelling. Yeah. You're doing a storytelling, you're also doing motivational. So you're also doing Broadway.
Yeah.
Broadway, guys, it's something that Jack has. It's a campaign where you as an artist, young designer, artist, either a rapper, singer, anything, and even an author.
Yeah.
It's a platform for all of you guys to actually come in where you showcase your talent, you showcase your work at the same time. So it's actually exposure to other people that there is this person who has this brand. I believe Jack Styles. Jack Styles. So as you can tell, this is what I love about this man. Right? He's an author. He's a motivational speaker. On a Broadway, he also has his clothing brand at the same time. And then all of this, he's doing it also to promote himself under Broadway. So if he can do that in Broadway, also help you. It's not also about him only, but also trying to help upcoming young artists. The same thing that we do also on the show, Daytime with Your Favorites, where else we give exposure to such unique guys where they doing their best also. You don't need to be famous guys with something to gain exposure. Literally, you don't need that. He has a Broadway market where else you can come. Bring your clothing line, bring your book, bring your music, bring your instruments, bring what you do, bring your friend, bring your food. We're all doing something where else we want to succeed. We also want to be exposed to the world. Yeah. So even if there's 100 people or 200 people at Jack Styles event, that's exposure, guys. You don't need to figure or complain with 30 people. Okay, those 30 people are gonna spread the word out there. But you know what? At Jack's Jack event, got Jack. I saw a lot of people which came and then this. You're marketing, guys, and it's actually for you, not for him also. But for him, he also promotes himself like you also trying to promote yourself. So it's a win-win on both his end, both anyone who has any art which wants to be exposed. Everyone wins. Yeah, but
definitely.
You get what I'm saying? But yeah, no, as you were saying, Jack Styles. But in Broadway, man, I think I love the idea of Broadway. Do you have any chance you're gonna take it on the road, like try expose it, like find what do you call this? What's this? Hey, slungs. But yeah, but like sponsorship, where else? Like you go on the road, because I think as much as Ape Pitori, you have much exposure. in 21 again is that, people from rural areas, from like Limpopo, Free State, Northwest, Northern Cape, those people have this mindset of we need to go to Joburg, we need to go to Pretoria in order to gain exposure.
Sure.
So you learned in Detroit, do you have any future plans where else you're gonna take the show on the road, where else even from their hometown they get seen before they just come to this side? Because some of them would come this side, say, you know what, with the hopes of like, I'm gonna push my brand that side, that's gonna do the things. When they get this side, they don't know about Broadway market, they just try. It feels, goes back home, someone gives up completely.
Well, for now, my plan is to build it. But charity begins at home.
Yeah.
So for me, if I can say, I want to expand the event and go out there, I should all be able to say, okay, now I've done enough for Mamelodi, I've done enough for PTA, I've done enough for Gauteng. So that's where I can say, okay, the event is big enough for it to go out there without trying to market it more.
Yeah.
So once it's big in Gauteng, I know I can go to Limpopo and host it and then I'll read about it. But in the meantime, it's still a small thing where I hosted a small venue. And events are not a sure thing in business. That's one thing I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So you can never spend 100K on an event with an assurance that my money will be back. Because I've hosted around 4 or 5 events. First 2, I lost money. Then the rest is still break even. I haven't done
any profit or anything. Yeah.
So it's a good thing. I would say, what? As long as I'm not losing money in this initiative, and also it's not even about money. It's about growing the brand on its own.
On its own, yeah.
While I market Jackstars, while I market myself as an author.
As an author,
so it's all about that and bringing the community together and everything. It's not about trying to initiate something that's going to bring money for me, because I'm also planning on building the initiative around an NGO.
Yeah.
Something that I'm planning on. But then one thing that I know is that Jackstars is my baby. I'm growing. The funny part is that now I'm becoming the brand. People are calling me Jackstars, and Jackstars is the brand.
It's actually, it's like...
Lately, everyone is like, hey, Jackstars. I'm like, I'm becoming the brand. So basically, the brand without me won't work.
Definitely.
Which is a bad thing in a way, but also a good thing.
It's also a good thing, yeah.
It pushes me to be positive, even when I'm not okay. Hence, I came with the motivation. How are you doing? Like, always 100. That's what I give out to people. Even though deep down that I know that I'm not good. But whenever you come to me, say, how are you? I'm good, my friend. Oh, I'm always on 100.
Hospitary vibes. I'm fun. I'm always on 100. I'm always on 100.
Try by all means to push yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, before anything else, So you need to remember that we are here for one purpose, just to live.
Just to live.
Yeah. So
there's no
guy. So before anything else, put yourself first, pillar. And then remember that whatever that you do is just an act of living while you're doing something.
At the
just
same
to
time,
push time and all that. So the initiative, the book, the brand, those are my babies. Those are my friends, something to avoid.
That's you. That's you. That's the epiphany of you. Yeah.
So I'm actually the brand, I'm everything, but the initiative is becoming bigger, hanging bit by bit. So I'm not in a hurry for anything, because I'm one person, I'm very patient. And then I know, what, as long as you're on a 1,000 kilometer journey, every step
counts.
Means that the distance becomes lesser. Doesn't matter how you come across certain setbacks and everything. Just learn from those setbacks and see them as stepping stones.
Yeah.
So every step that you take from here to wherever, just know that the distance becomes lesser every day. Eventually you'll get there.
Yeah. Now I want to see styles on the TV, guys. I want to see styles on the TV. Then I'm coming to the issue here, your author.
Yeah.
I want to dive into the motivational part, but before I do that, right? How good would it be if, let's say, for instance, you see, I'm in love with my daughter. Not the entire thing, right? That's scripted, but not word for word, scripted word for word. But how good would it be when you see the book being generated into something of a series or something of a movie? Because it's something where I've seen in the industry in South Africa. We focus on drugs, crime, crime, drugs, guns.
Yeah.
It's only now that they're trying to come up with something different where else they're talking about. I saw on ETV, there's this black room.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it's like we're doing it for more attention, but also it's something that teaches us, right?
Yeah.
Because on Black Room, there's a lot of shady shit that happening there. Like, it's like you. I see Americans with creating sex tapes or whatever, but South African, when it comes to Black Room, I'm telling you that thing takes the top of the list. Yeah, but because I also saw the other thing I saw again where it's like in South Africa when they need to gain views. You see the show, The Wife.
Yeah, The Wife. Yeah.
The Wife. If when you guys were watching The Wife, right? There's a part where it was trending. I think might still be trending where is it Mkhala? No, the other guy. The big Buddha, when he was having a sex scene, there was a sex scene, and everyone was like, "Hey, it's really Jashuba." It's like we South Africans are, you know what? Like we want that, like we want that. We want to see Mdavazo, and then in order to get attracted to we so. All I'm saying is, if Ipuga Akone were to be generated into a series or into a... Because even The Wife, I know a lot of people normally don't know, but Ihlomu The Wife is actually from a book. I also heard the book about this guy. And when I read the book, also you guys have seen a lot, because I see there were some comments where else is, they're straying away from the book itself. Because when I read the book, I have a good memory, guys. I'm an author also, but I have a good memory where else I understand what the guy was trying to teach.
Sure.
Do you get what I'm saying? And it would be nice if Sibona, I'm in love with my daughter on TV, but not straying away from the book itself, because it gives life's lessons. It's a life lesson where else it happens. And as you said, it's from experience where normally when you were growing up, such things would happen, just that not frequently.
Sure.
Because we used to, when we're watching TV nowadays, drugs, crime. It's only now we get to a part where else there are people who are selling, trying to make a living. Where else it's prostitution, right? It's not prostitution because there's no jobs. We have the highest. You posted. I think you're the one who posted
on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp,
we are actually the second in Africa after Nigeria.
But
looking at the population,
that was what I was about to get into. The difference was when you saw it. I think you said it has about 3 million, is it?
Yeah, around.
Nigeria has about 3 million population of people.
No, it's actually 200 and something million.
200 and
but
something.
The percentage of unemployment is around 32, 33.
32, 33.
They are actually almost the same. But our population is 61%.
61 million.
Basically, almost half of South African people are unemployed. Which I was about to answer you when you said The Wife was trending. One, unemployment people, basically it means they don't have money. So how do they entertain themselves? Through sex.
Obviously.
Happily chilling in the corner and all that. So basically what I'm saying is that once they see a scene
that has
sexual intercourse, it's very entertaining for them because that's what they do when they're bored. You get. So I'll tell you one thing about South African industry and TV and everything. Is that we need to see more books, not just I'm in love with my daughter or The Wife. It will open industries. It will actually give South Africans or any black child out there an opportunity, that feel I can actually become a writer, I can actually become an editor and everything. Because now you can go to any school and ask, trust me, no kid will tell you that I want to be an author. No one. No kid, because they don't see anyone from their community making it big as an author or as an editor and everything. It's only those who see art writing as an art because they come from and then they love. For them, it's just art. It's what they do, what they love. It's not that you know what, I'm just gonna write and everything. No. I saw the other thing. I think it's Plastic Money, where it's a piece of thing. I only took the last part where it says everyone is an artist until it's time to pay the bills. You get it? That part made me feel some type of way because we don't make money from our art, but at some point we have to pay the bills. So basically, whether you like it or not, at some point you're just gonna forget about your dreams and focus on your job, which is a trap.
That's the
Hence,
only
I
thing.
always try, but only to avoid work. I hustle through my art.
Yeah.
So we need to see more books being televised.
Exactly. So it's that thing where else, guys, as he's saying, when we're doing an analysis, ne, America,
Yeah.
they have many books, they have
Yeah, a
many series, they
Yeah.
have a lot of, in terms of, America is big in Hollywood.
Big.
That's mostly
Big.
where they generate the source.
Yeah.
You can say whatever, but we have the minerals, we have everything, yet our unemployment is still sucks. Our televised programs, we're not big. We only
Yeah.
see the same people over and over again where they
Gatekeepers.
they doing the same thing,
Yeah.
like gatekeepers. They like not letting the young ones in the industry so that we can create more variety, create more space, create more televised programs.
Sure.
Because we have books, we have artists. For sure, as he's saying, Jack saying, I believe, and I know, not I believe, I know there's a lot of writers in South
A lot.
Africa, but because of the minimum exposure
Yeah.
and hardly any exposure, they won't even focus on it that much. They just let them be. I've met a lot of people when they're saying to me that, you know what, I was writing a book, I was busy writing, but then I let go.
Why?
Why'd you let go? It's like, nah, it's
Nothing
like,
inspiring to see.
nothing inspiring to see.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, there's no one who's making it from that line of work.
Yeah.
And then we're not having any book clubs where else we motivate each other. It's like, let's push our books, let's push our books. I see Inanziga, Somizi wrote a book. DJ Zintle wrote a book. Bonang wrote a book, right? So far, those are the ones that I know.
Yeah.
They wrote books, went out, sold a bit, but now it's quite down. No one is talking about it. So you get the fact that, okay, they are already up there. They have the marketing, they have everything, the exposure, they have followers, which are going to buy the book. But when you check about also, as you buying for those books, né, yes, it's a good thing to actually write for, or actually buy books which are written by those well-known. But also go to the little ones also, the little men downstairs, because that's where you get more inspiration. That's where you get the real feel about that life, because it's real from where they're coming from. Also, I'm not saying that your Shomizis, your Zinkles, when they're not writing about real things. Yes, they're writing about real stuff, right? If they're writing about real stuff, it's just that it's from their perspective of view. So it's nice if you buy theirs, you also buy the little man's view, because there's two different views, how they view and how we view at the same time.
Sure.
And then, as we say, America normally thrives on getting their authors and taking a piece of their work, generating it into a series. You get what I'm saying? A lot of books in America
are turning into series.
America takes everything. And trust me, the reason why we here at home would be writing, me and Jack, we're authors. Right? Trust me, if Jack has the opportunity to get his book published in the US, he's going to do that, because they're going to turn his book into a series where else they could give credit to him, then the whole world would know about him.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, why doesn't it start here at home? Because we have the resources. We have. We're running out of. We can't be running out of televised ideas, TV series, right? Running out of TV series, but yet we have our authors here in the ground. Where else? Once we take their stories and turn them into that, it's gonna be pure gold, because it's well written, it's well groomed, and it's from home, not from elsewhere. Because we see. Do you see that in terms of the game shows? I heard there's Masked Singer about to premiere.
It's not our idea.
It's not our idea. Family Feud. It's not our idea. Do you get what I'm saying? The good thing, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're young and African, famous and everything.
It's not our thing.
It's not our thing. We always taking from
original content to TV.
Thank you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Where we can actually groom South Africa to be better. Because by the looks of things, we are going backwards.
Trust me.
Economically, politically, entertainment, education,
everything. We're going backwards. Remember, we had Chikama Chika or Jim Ailey, friends like
they
these.
cut raw.
Those are the best things. Yeah, those are the best things. I show.
Programs back. I mean, the likes of Zola 7. We need that. We no longer have that.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't. Like
very
literally.
positive. We need that.
But
Chigama Chiga, you say.
Chigama
We see a lot of dancers dancing, but then what's the point? Because if you're not doing choreography, then you're not going anywhere. So we need Chigama Chiga to give them exposure. We need it back, you know. So there are a lot of programs that they cancelled where I felt like that was actually true South Africa. Now we're trying to be like America in Africa.
Definitely the same. Because if you check, I see there's this guy who inspires me. I used to see Limpopo Boy, dude, that dude. I like him.
Max.
But if I can tell him straight up, he sees this. I hate him for the fact that when we were at Zoom, he was taking all those bottles by beating everyone by dancing. I was not dancing there, but hey, this nigga came in. It was always on Wednesdays or Thursdays, somewhere there, right? Zoom had this thing. It's like a chiga type of thing, where else you get dancers who are gonna be dancing, and we're gonna be like, yeah, this is the one who danced much more.
Taking everything.
Limpopo Boy was only dancing when there was booze on the table. Man, nigga, we wanted that booze, and he would get the bottles because he's so good at dancing. And look at how far he is right now.
Well, he's good. He's good.
Because I've been following him. He was in Switzerland or USA, somewhere in USA.
I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, he was
He's teaching people.
He's teaching. Yeah, he's teaching. Guys, look at this. As he's saying, you take content from home, right? Rather than taking from America, check what America is doing. Did you see the video of Chris Brown?
Yeah, I saw it.
Do you get what I'm saying?
He's been doing that. He's been He's been doing that for a long time.
No, but besides, did you see when he was dancing to like Amapiano and then doing the Kilimanjaro type of dance? You see what mostly I like about that, right? What I like about that is that type of dance came from us.
Yeah.
That type of dance now trending
in America.
In America. Limpopo Boy is teaching our type of dance
to outsiders.
To Americans.
Yeah.
So why can't we elevate each other in South Africa so that they learn from us rather than we take from them and try to make everything about them?
Exactly.
Either way, as you're saying, Jack, so Jack, guys, as he said, you heard of him. And then any words of encouragement also to our viewers, and how can they find you also on social media platforms? Where can they find the book? How can they find the book?
You can, at the moment, I'm off online, but then you can find the book on any social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I'm there. There's Jack Styles Lekola or Jack Lekola. And then what I can tell you is that we're living in a world of survival of the fittest. So I'm just going to leave you with a quote. I love this quote. I personally came up with it.
Yeah.
So it says, the one who's hungry doesn't deserve to eat. But the one with a hungry mind will never go to bed with an empty stomach.
Powerful.
I leave you with that. Take that.
Powerful.
Understand it, and you won't go hungry.
Definitely, who would want to go to bed hungry? No one. But if you have a powerful mind, as you said, guys, I don't know how you will hear this, but if you hear this, that quote is the most powerful thing I've ever heard in today's generation. The one with a hungry stomach.
The one who's hungry doesn't deserve to eat.
The one who's hungry doesn't deserve to eat. Because you just.
But the one with a hungry mind will never go to bed with an empty stomach.
So the power is in your mind.
Yeah.
The power
Play
is
the game in your head.
Play the game in your head. But guys, I do feel like this deserves a part 2. We're gonna continue this. We're gonna shoot again. I'm telling you again. Because there's a lot you can learn from this man. And given what I've been saying, that guys, yes, you do have your role models, the guys that are well known in the industry, but also the ones down here in the ground. That's where you get the most inspirational motivation and the most realist words and wise words on how you could also make it in life.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And as he said, you could still find him on social media platforms. Then you can ask about the book. You can follow him on his pages, where else you can find out the movement that he's making. Also, the good thing also, if you follow him on the social media platform, when he's doing the Broadway market, you could also join in, guys. You could chip in. And then what else more is there to say?
Any event coming soon?
Yeah, any event
September,
coming soon?
I'm thinking of hosting another Broadway market. But it will depend, how things can go. But then definitely thinking of hosting in September.
September.
One thing that I can leave you with is that, as not just South Africans, but as humans, I think by now we can tell that going alone on things is no longer
The pathway,
or the
yeah.
way to go. We need each other. We need to hold hands. So I'm gonna say this: unity is the new culture. Let's leave tribalism and everything aside and unite and build something. My uncle once taught me, "Sala are mufiela wa fiela because of the rubber." Uncle rake matlhogwana. So let's unite and become one.
Thank you. Thank you. Powerful words, guys. You heard it here first on Daytime with your favorites. And don't forget to follow Jack on the social media. Said your social media platform is?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Jack Stars Lekola or Jack Lekola, you'll find me.
You'll find me. All right. Then also, pardon? Oh, these guys.
They should subscribe to our channel.
Oh yeah, guys! Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment. You're gonna hear it from us each and every single day, guys. We out here trying to inspire you guys, also trying to showcase the talent that we have in the background, where else you didn't know about. And then share this with your friends, your family, and all that. But most importantly, like, subscribe, and then let's continue unifying. As he said, unity is the best way to go about this way. Without unity, guys, we'll never make it.
Definitely.
We also have our home content. We also have our authors at home. We also have our actors, our rappers. Everything that we need, we do have it here at home. And it's nice because it's a kasi flavor. Kalebota.
It's a gas.
Kalebola like that day.
Just on a portrait of interest, my clothes.
Bona. Without any further ado, peace and love, guys. Don't forget to follow Jack Styles Lekola on social media so you can find out about the September Broadway. Then if you are interested, just hit him up on his inbox and also just try to find out more info about how to enroll and showcase also what you're doing on the side. From us,
Peace out.
we out.
All right.
All right.
That's gold. That was gold.